Hello, comrades. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. My name, of course, is Old Potato. I thought that we would start today with somewhat of a cinematic overview of the area in which we are going to be working. Maybe not necessarily for the entirety of this episode, but certainly for a bit of it. Can you guess what we're doing yet? This is a new part of the map. It's very spicy. You may not know, but I did indeed chat about it in the last episode, and this episode, I think I have the best solution to all of our problems. That's right. So we are down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. If you'll pardon my misdirection for a second. We're in Kolyarsk. That's right. It was named after a suggestion from the comments. Very much appreciated as ever. It's always good. You can probably now guess exactly what is down here. That's right. It's hella coal. It's hella coal. And I actually think that I might just have the most ingenious way to get coal around the map. Again, partly thanks to the wonderful suggestions of you, ladies and gents, in the comments. So, there are two, massive coal patches here. We got this area here, and we've also got this area over here. In fact, why don't we see if we can visualize that just for a microsecond, just to see how it looks. It's not in metallurgy. It is in gravel, coal, and iron. Right, so, coal mine. So what do we got going on over here? It's also February. We're going to be out of winter in just a second. Right, so we got a little source over there. We got a big source over here, and we got another source over here. So that's 3 coal mines in that vicinity alone. And then we've also got what? That just looks like 1 additional coal mine to me over there. So that's... yeah, that's definitely 3. That's definitely 3. Okay, I'm gonna just see what the quality of this source actually is. There we go. That's a 70% quality source. That's bloomin' brilliant, to be honest. Let's not auto build with dollars, but I'm gonna plant this. I'm gonna plant this because I really want to start this off. And do I want to get a second one right now? Not really, not particularly. Second one will go like right over here. And that's going to be our coal solution. Anyway, here's the thing. I actually think that we have a pretty good coal processing operation over in Kolovskaysky. I'm pretty happy with the coal processing operation. We're not even close to maxing it out. We're not even close to maxing it out yet. So I think that we can get away with, don't quote me on this, but I think that we can get away with adding more, that's right, adding more coal to this setup in order to turn it into proper coal. We can turn coal ore into coal via this system here. However, that means that we are going to have to transport the raw coal ore from this area all the way over to this area. Now, again, I cannot claim credit for this idea, but it is a bloomin' brilliant one. It involves the repurposing of all of these Hercules ships, because let's be brutally honest, right? At this moment in time, we have 2 of these bauxite ore carriers. That's great. I'm happy with that. They are fantastic. They are going to be great forevermore. But we have 6 of these boats hanging around. And I think that we could just really benefit from having them re-enter service, and they can now commute from this area all the way up to Kolovskaysky. I think it's pretty much just that simple, and that's what we're going to try our very best to do. It shouldn't even be that difficult to set this up, to be honest. It should be just fine. Now, with regards to people to work in the coal mine, now this is a bit of an interesting one. Again, I feel like I have the perfect solution on how to do this. Now, at first I was thinking, hey, we're going to be building, some new infrastructure around here. Kolyarsk is probably a bustling town. Tell a lie, it's apparently just empty as anything. There's 5 people that live here. Very few people that live here. I don't care about Kolyarsk. Kolyarsk is Kolyarsk in name only. It doesn't freaking matter. What we're gonna see if we can try and do, I don't know if it's possible yet, and we might have to start caring about Kolyarsk. But what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna see if we can try and get a helipad in the center of Potatograd, and I'm gonna see if we can try and helicopter people across the map in order to work at Kolyarsk in order to mine coal. It's the most insane plan that involves pretty much every method of transportation, but we're gonna give it a crack because, I mean, it's cool, yo, actually. So therefore, let's give it a crack. Let's give it a crack. Let's just get to work, and let's see what happens. We got plenty of dollars. We're in a great place when it comes to dollars. Very, very happy. We're also in a pretty good place when it comes to rubles. I gotta be honest. I suspect that our big old bauxite boat is currently at the border, currently faffing around doing something over there. Now, speaking of the border and speaking of the bauxite boat, it is somewhat important that we sort out the issues that we have with this existing waterway. Now, this entire area is a natural river since the start of the game. Natural as a randomly generated river can be, I suppose. But certainly, we don't really want to change the features too much. And to be honest, as long as we're able to find a way to make it all work, then I don't really think that we're going to have any problems. But to be brutally honest, this is a pretty darn good. It's perfect. Pretty darn good area. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with that. Aggregate loading. We're going to have aggregate unloading at the other end. Just need to make sure that we've got the space because there is a fair amount of access that is required for other boats. Now, the river isn't really wide enough. However, I think I have. Yeah, I have a nuclear excavator around here, so I mean, this is no huge task. Although that being said, perhaps it is a huge task. It's a huge task, presumably because the nuclear excavator has decided very randomly to go and decide to fill up with gas. I don't really know why. There we go. Okay, cool. We can tweak this later on. We might even be able to get a pretty decent angle here. I really do not want to... Oh, that would be perfect, actually. Yeah, I really don't want to mess with the traffic flow throughout the river. All right, this is just taking an absolute age. Let's see if we can pinpoint the problem here. Where did our nuclear excavator go? Where did our bulldozer go? Has it gone to fill up? Yeah, where you at? You're here. I see. I see the conundrum. This makes sense. The nuclear excavators, the nuclear bulldozers, they do have a pretty drastic amount of fuel. Right, we got a heating problem over here. There is never going to be a heating solution for that firehouse, I'm afraid. Big, sad, unfortunate news. That is what it is. Anyway, this area is probably ready to go, right? Like, yeah. Actually, we're ready to start work in the second aluminium plant. So why don't we do that right now whilst we're waiting for the nuclear bulldozer to, you know, fully fill up? We'll auto-build this. Boop. And boop. There's probably power here, right? He says with a large degree of confidence, and then is immediately disproven as to the amount of power that is actually available. Alright, the good news is we probably don't need that much power, but I will, just to be on the safe side... Is there nothing left? I don't think there's any freaking chance. How much power is being used here? 75%? Ah, you know what? Let's Let's just split this. I mean, I'm sure that nothing bad could ever happen, right? I'm sure it'll be just fine. There we go. That's looking good. Let's get this manually built. We'll build with that. Build with that. Cool. All right. Build it, build it, build it. So we've got ourselves the workers. Let's add the chemicals to the distribution office order. There we go. We still are missing a large number of chemicals. Pretty upsetting, to be honest, but that is what it is. We've got coal from over here. Now, what are the logistics of moving coal across? Hadn't really thought that one through, to be brutally honest with you. Chemicals we can auto-purchase because we have to, but that's fine. Coal, yeah, we can probably make something work here. Honestly, just get me out of this hellish winter. Actually, speaking of winter, how are we doing for deaths? Oh, we're doing so good for deaths. Oh, this is great. I don't want to say that we're doing great for deaths, but it's fine. You know, definitely within acceptable parameters of fatalities. All right. Just continue to auto-build it. Oh, that's remarkable if that works. That's brilliant. If it works, it works. It doesn't need to look good. It just needs to work. Any chance we can... Oh, there's more snow. Really? Okay. What about... No. Okay, good. We're close. We're close to making this work, actually. Sure, let's go up the freaking hill. Why not, eh? That's it. That's the one. That's the coal. That is the freaking coal. Okay. Remarkable. Remarkable. Then all we need to do is add a... It's too distant. What? There's no connections? That's a bare-faced lie if ever I saw it. All right. Now we add this. 16%. Sure. I'm okay with that. That's very, very fine with me. And that should, theoretically, push up the amount of aluminium that we're able to export. To be brutally honest, we might even have too much aluminium in the storage area at this present moment. Not exactly brilliant. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. This is future-proofing. We're future-proofing the entire operation here, which is kind of great. Okay, so let's actually return to what I said that I was going to do. We are just seeing the bauxite boat departing. Is the other bauxite boat returning? It's still seemingly in the void. Just sure. Okay, I guess it's still filling, or I guess technically unloading. All right. Anyway, let's get back to business here. Let's get back to business. Very, very important. Aggregate unloading here. Let's run it parallel to the land. Let's not auto build with rubles. Oh, the winter is over. Honestly, I would take many more winters like that. That was a tame winter. We need to be a little bit more aggressive here with our slicing action. Let's do. Go. What about something like that? We're not far off. Not far off. Cool. It's very, very pernickety. Can't build this building on water. I'm really trying to not build it on water, video game. You see, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm trying to do. Oh, there was a place. Okay, there is a way here. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's weird. The harbor buildings need to be pretty low down. But this feels pretty low down anyway. We rotate it around a little bit. Okay, no, this is not allowed. We gotta rotate it around. I mean, look, I'm trying to make it as parallel to the shoreline as possible, but to be brutally honest, that's just fine. Why don't I let the video game have a crack at building that? In fact, dare I suggest, might even be able to do it. Well, it's not gonna be able to do it quicker than me. Don't be ridiculous, but it might be able to do it pretty darn fast, to be honest, because it'll auto assign to. In fact, just auto assign all of these. Oh yeah, just literally assign all of them. Cool. Very, very cool. In fact, I suspect... Oh, look at that. The swarm. The swarm. They ascend. There's a fire. Container unloading facility. Very happy that we managed to put that fire out. Okay. So this is good. This is very, very good. Also, the amount of wood that we have here is... Oh, what a sight. What a sight for sore eyes, eh? Let me plant a whole bunch of trees in this vicinity because... pretty much done excavating them all here, and we'll regrow them. A beech tree? Sure. Why not, eh? Can't hurt. Alright, so let's get it all sorted. Asphalt, concrete, etc. That's good. Linking up the inputs will not be difficult at all. We'll worry about that in just a second. But for now, let's go back to here. And we'll see. Yeah, so we've got the aggregate loading. I mean, we might even be able to build this all ourselves. I mean, we might be able to build it, you know, through the use of helicopters and the like. That would be very, very cool if we could do that. I'm looking for this. And in fact, I think we want to get a storage facility here, actually. Yeah, we should have a buffer. We should have a buffer for sure. So large aggregate storage. In fact, maybe even 2 buffers would be advisable. Okay. Yep, just something like this. Something like this. I don't know why it's not flat. It looks pretty flat to me. I'll spend a few dollars to make it work. I'll also build it just to be on the safe side. And sure. You did promise me that that was a connection, video game. You did kind of promise me that that was a connection. So you mean I'm gonna need to stick in an Okay, alright. I'm gonna need to stick in an intermediate conveyor engine transfer. It's rude. Rude as heck. That's okay, though. That's okay. Alright. Let's get this party started. I'm okay with auto-building this. I did say that I could do it myself, but, I mean... We'll worry about that a little bit. This is probably the best case scenario for us. We should also do a little bit of terrain leveling here. Because we are going to need space for a helicopter pad. And you know what? I don't really want to build a construction office here, even if I do buy a nuclear excavator or whatever. It just doesn't really matter that much. So, a heliport, we're not going to be able to land, right? Like, we need a heliport at either end. So where do we want to stick that heliport? Honestly, probably right here. Yeah, this is pretty brilliant, actually, if we can make this fit. So that is going to allow access down the hill in this direction to a brand new facility in the future. It's going to allow access down over here. Going to allow access pretty much everywhere that we need, if I'm not mistaken. And if not, I suppose we can always just, you know, throw in a bus station as an intermediate sort of step. Gonna make sure that that's connected up. All right, that's looking good. Obviously, there is no power. There is no heating either. That's never really mattered that much before, but you never know. This might be the first time. I mean, the craziness is that we're pretty much ready, right? Like, we need to find what we're gonna do at the other end. 2 workers without a job. No one lives here. Yeah, my one worry for Potatograd is that there is perhaps a little bit too small of a population. Right, I'm gonna, first of all, the great evacuation of Potatograd is perhaps a great opportunity to get rid of some of these empty houses without having to, you know, get down into the minutia of moving people and actually dealing with lives in a compassionate and sensible manner. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna demolish pathways, demolish houses, and then we're gonna see if we can erect in the wreckage of that a massive old heliport. That's right. We're modernizing Potatograd. This looks, oh, it looks so perfect. The size looks, I mean, just so perfect. Don't do me dirty like this, video game. Don't do me dirty like this. It looks perfect, but that's no guarantee that it's actually going to fit. I mean, this is, yeah, it's absolutely categorically too wide here. I mean, if I could rotate it a little bit more. If I could rotate it a little bit more acutely, then I'd be able to make this fit. As it stands, can we maybe smooth the terrain? I don't know. I don't think that that's going to make much of a difference, but it's worth a crack. I also don't think that we're going to be able to just land at a heliport. Pretty sure that's not how it works. I might be misunderstanding that, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Okay. Next best thing, we're just going to trash the useless roads. And then we're going to build the passenger office. Fine. As close as we can to the road at the end there. Yeah, pause construction, cancel construction. We don't necessarily want to build it quite yet. We just want to make sure, yeah, that we can reconnect that. And that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. So why on earth, video game, did you decide to do me dirty? All right, let's get it built. Let's get it built. All right, so Potatograd might need a little bit of extra population inflow before we're able to properly make this work. But the good news is that the universities seem to be doing just fine. Shopping centers, both of them seem to be doing just fine. So, I mean, you know, the fundamentally important services are being supplied to the good people of Potatograd, which is very important. Very, very, very highly important. All right, next thing that I want to consider. Next thing that I was going to consider actually is a brand new helipad, but to be honest, we can probably just use the helipad from like down here. Yeah, to purchase aircraft. 47 passengers, is that the most that we can do? It is indeed. It is indeed. This is a big boy. The MI6. Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Okay, I just want to see if this is going to work. I assume that it is, but, I mean, I feel like by assuming I'm making a dangerous gamble. Right up to here. I think that's fine. It looks like it'll work. Admittedly, it is gonna need fuel. I don't know what happens when this thing runs out of fuel. It'll probably just land at the nearest helipad and call it a day. It is blisteringly quick, though, actually. Is there a difference in helicopter speed? I didn't even check that, to be honest. Maximum speed 185, 280. It's the fastest. No, it's not. This is slightly faster. Slightly faster, but it's got 15 less passenger capacity. I mean, 47 passenger capacity ain't bad at all. This is pretty remarkable, actually. I am very, very excited to see this work. I like how when you buy a brand new one of these helicopters, it looks like it's gone through the ringer. That's, you know, good bit of age in there. All right, 40 workers or so. Auto purchase rubles. Auto purchase fuel. We will auto purchase with fuel. In an ideal world, we'd be able to. We would be able to not auto purchase fuel because we are in the middle of the map and it is going to be correspondingly very, very expensive. Look, I don't even know why I'm testing this. I know that this is going to work. I am very confident that this is going to work. We just need to get all of the other components sorted in order to make this really pop. Okay, let's build this. Sure. Let's get... I mean, we're going to need to get a freaking fleet of these helicopters. That's what I'm excited about. We're also going to need to get electricity, which we'll do in just a second. But for now, let's get the rest of the stuff sorted that we need to get sorted. So stuff like that. We'll just build this. $600,000 for that aggregate loading station, by the way. It's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Right, so Potatograd doesn't actually have super high voltage wires. In fact, the nearest high voltage wires are probably in Krudenovsky. Yeah, I'll say. They very much are. So, are we... Yeah, we're managing. We're managing with the voltage as it stands. Let's deconstruct this here. And build a high voltage switch. And we have so much money now, it just makes constructing an absolute breeze. Also, there's that bridge that we need to fix, which I haven't yet dealt with on the river. Am I building in the right direction here? I think I am. I think I am indeed. Ah, yes, look, there's the helicopter that's en route right now. How grand. We will just build a power transformer around the back here. Probably not going to need like a level 2 power transformer. Or like a... I say a level 2, because it's better than the default one. We're not going to need a more than stock power transformer. But it certainly doesn't hurt, right? Okay. So, we need to think about where the substation goes. One substation to power this area. That powers those 3. We can get away with just 2, I think. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Probably worth also getting a fire engine because... In fact, no, hold on. We don't need to worry about fire engines. We don't need to worry about fire engines at all. We'll just make sure... that we sort out an air fire service. And that's what we'll do, and then that should be fine. I just have so many. I have so many dollars. I have an irresponsibly large number of dollars. Oh, yes. Something else that the comments were querying, which I will happily answer right now. Also, we are maxed out on TU 104s. Alright, well, that's going to be a massive influx of rubles, and that explains why I haven't been getting as many rubles recently. What is the process in order to... Oh, look at that. What is the process in order to build helicopters? Well, it's just the same as aircraft, apparently. This is American, or Western helicopters, I guess. 14 passengers. Pretty lame, to be honest. I don't love it. What about... what about these? 4 million rubles to build a helicopter? I mean, yeah, that sounds like a great deal. That sounds brilliant. I mean, I feel like with the introduction of helicopters, the developers have basically immediately made aircraft redundant. It's almost a shame that aircraft were added before helicopters. Because, I mean, I feel like now I'm never gonna have a use for aircraft ever again. Also, this bridge is apparently very, very close to being finished. Notably, the sections of bridge which have taken the longest to construct are the ones that weren't able to get helicopter support because there's not enough landing area around here. I just finished the bridge for $7,000. I got plenty spare. Okay, so this is looking very, very nice now. Very, very happy with that. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a sneaky sneak. I'm going to do a little bit of a sneaky sneak and try and destroy this road right here. First of all, it would be great if... Oh, okay. Don't really know what's going on. Also, we're almost done. This harbor for aggregate loading. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's just really good. It would be great if buses and trucks decided to start using this bridge by themselves. I don't think they will. Therefore, I'm going to take somewhat extreme action. I'm going to see if I can try and delete, like, I don't know, a little bit of road right in there. See if that makes things a little bit more compelling. All right. So, I mean, that may cause some form of congestion elsewhere. It very well might be the case that ends up happening. But no, we'll worry about that. We'll worry about that a little bit later on. I also don't love the fact that the buses that are commuting out to the heating station are going to have to take this road. That's a sacrifice that I might be willing to make, honestly, in order to improve traffic flow. It's not ideal, far from it, but it's also not terrible. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. If it doesn't work out, we can always reconnect the road. It's pretty much just as simple as that. Cool. All right. Ljubljana is coming along just nicely. Great. We're a little bit short on power from time to time there, but that's fine. I mean, this is great. I'm super happy with how quickly we've been able to get this setup up and running. I think that's the real value of helicopters, right? Is that it's mostly the fact that you can just, like, move people super duper quickly. Temperature in building is too low. That's fine. Helicopter's about to arrive. Is this for the first time? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It should be fine, right? Here we go. Everyone comes in here. Everyone starts exporting coal. I guess this must be the first. This must be the first time that people have actually arrived. Yeah, I mean, 110 tons of coal per day is good. I mean, bear in mind, this is one single helicopter. I don't want to be able to see the sky for the number of helicopters that are going to go, that are going to be going between Potatograd and Kolyarsk. It's gonna be mega. And actually, in fact, in order to accommodate that, we're gonna see if we can try and maybe invite a few more immigrants in here. Yeah, now we're talking. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's back already. Wow, just even one helicopter is quick. It's real quick. Okay. In order to facilitate slightly easier operations, I'm gonna spend, what is it, $62,000, and I'm gonna build helicopter pads right here, which is gonna allow us to pump out really quick. There we go. Really quick aircraft so that we can set them up to fly between the 2 points. All related vehicles. That's the one. That's the one. Nope. Nope. I do still want to get tourists via helicopter. That's still an option. There we go. Also, can I have a look at this line? Line detail. Oh yeah, we can't do line spacing. We can't do line spacing for helicopters. I forgot about that. That's a shame. That is a big old shame. May have to manually space them. That's okay, though. Boop, boop, and boop. Okay, looking good. Now they're taking on a lot of fuel. Yeah, taking on a fair amount of fuel does seem to be somewhat of a downside. It does seem to take rather a long time to load up with fuel. That's fine, though. I'm okay with that. Alright. You know what's crazy is that I feel like I could even, like, fly workers in from further afield. I do want to see how long it takes the workers to commute. So, time traveling in vehicle. Workers can travel at a normal rate of up to 4 hours. Looks like it's going to take about an hour and a half, maybe? 2 hours tops in order to arrive at Kolyarsk. That's remarkably quick. I mean, you know, this is a fairly significant chunk of the map that we're covering. I mean, this is about halfway across the map. It's actually very impressive. Yeah, that's actually really good. It's actually really good. Okay, well, I suspect that our coal storage, yep, is pretty close to being full. There was a suggestion, actually, about loading coal onto helicopters and then just importing coal via the border via helicopter. It's not a bad idea, apparently, but apparently the helicopters are... View line detail. Apparently helicopters cannot carry coal. They can only carry gravel. Right, erase from line. Let's do this. Okay. I want to set up you here. Load 100% of anything. Unload 100% of anything. Depart. Now, I suspect, truthfully, that you're not going to be able to go the way that I want you to go. I suspect that you're probably going to end up getting stuck. Because there is a very low bridge here. And that bridge will constitute a part of the problem. Oh, okay. Apparently, you're totally fine. I see. You're gonna drive outside the map. Illegally drive outside the map. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want driving outside the map. I'll redo this bridge. I'll redo the bridge. I mean, to be honest, I am so unbelievably wealthy now that it frankly doesn't matter what I do. I will have enough money left over. We could do a bendy bridge. I don't really need a bendy bridge, to be honest. Doesn't particularly matter. There we go, and right the way down. I haven't built these bridges, actually. I don't think I've ever built these bridges. I never use them. I only usually use the beam bridge. But let's use this for sure. Okay, so this is the one, right? Yeah, harbor for aggregate loading, harbor for aggregate unloading, Kolovsky. Sure. Copy, copy, copy. Go. Whoops. Go. And go. And I think that will probably be enough. The crazy thing is that we can actually do with another Ljubljana on the aluminium route as well, which would be kind of nice if we could get that. In fact, maybe we even just move the Ljubljana to moving coal. Also, we are maxed out on coal ore now, and it's been not very long. It's been not very long at all. I do love how, you know, this process. I was talking about reusing all of the aggregate ships that we have, all of the Hercules that we've got, but completely ignoring the fact that we're going to have to spend millions and millions and millions of rubles on brand new vehicles anyway, i.e. helicopters, and therefore we're not being super environmentally efficient. We're not really doing that at all. It's more just helicopters I like. In fact, that's exactly what it is. I like helicopters a lot. They are good. They are good. Right, let's see if we can try and maybe plumb something through here. Oh, this is going to be fiendishly difficult to navigate, isn't it? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. This is... I am shocked and amazed and surprised that that actually works. All right, well, keep up the good vibes. Keep up the momentum. It's ever so close to working. Yeah, come on. Are you sure that that connection just isn't possible? That connection is possible, video game. You lied to me. Alright, well, I guess we'll just build it anyway. Because we're gonna need to get a few more... Well, I say a few more. One more power substation in order to make this area completely work. Is there any free... I tell you what, we could just power it from the factory directly, eh? It's perhaps not the worst idea in the world. There we go. All right, cool. Well, I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. We cannot store or export coal. We finally have enough coal? Interesting. Interesting indeed. I'm delighted to see it. You are exporting to the harbor for aggregate unloading. Molna harbor for aggregate loading. Oh, you're going in the right direction. Kolovskaysky, cool. These boats are going to take far too long. We should at least add a couple of Lubyanos to the surface here. It's just going to be a lot of money before we're able to do that. The good news is that everything should work now. I mean, it's going to take an absolute age for stuff to get around. We are using boats, for goodness sake. But at least everything will work. At least everything will work. I gotta be honest, though. Helicopters far and away are the most powerful unit type. Like, just, it's not even close, right? What's next? Buses, I guess? Maybe trains? I mean, who cares? Because they're not helicopters. Because helicopters can do everything, and they can do it blisteringly quickly. Which is incredible. Yeah, so this is a good example of exactly why I was chatting about the processing capacity. So as you can see, we're not really maxing out all of the workers in all of the facilities, and when we are, or when we're close to doing that, you can see that the amount of coal ore that we have in the large aggregate storage is actually decreasing. So that is an indication to me that we have more processing power that we're not actually utilizing. When it's aggregate unloading, we need to make sure that we wait until all cargo is unloaded. Now, if we want to import more coal ore, we can do that. We have already in the past automatically imported coal ore from this area here, or from, auto purchasing in the large aggregate storage. And that's fine and all. That's okay. However, we can now buy a huge amount of coal ore on a boat, Ljubljana, for example. We just send it to the border, pick up a whole bunch of coal ore, drive it back into the country. I don't know, pilot a boat, captain a boat back into the country, plonk down here, unload it all, and then we process it ourselves, and then ship it off or turn it into steel, whatever we want to do. It's entirely up to us. Speaking of steel, actually, how's this area looking? 167 tourists? 164 tourists, even? There is a lot of tourists here. I'm not sure if they're getting on or if they're getting off. This is somewhat of a confuzzling situation. doesn't really seem like there are many tourists just chilling in these hotels here. Yeah, rather questionable state of affairs, have to be honest. There's a lot of tourists in these Leningradskia hotels, though. So tourism is still bringing in money, and that's what we like to see. The number of containers that we have piled up here is ridiculous, actually. That's quite ridiculous. This entire area needs to be changed. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. I'm, you know, not happy with it. Very unhappy with it, in fact. You're exporting aluminium, so there's nothing that can be done there. You're exporting aluminium too. Do we have any more aggregate storage vessels? You've got bauxite on you. You were exporting bauxite, so let's copy the orders here onto there. Yep. Head over yonder. Cool. So that's just more and more and more boats to load up. Now, I do wish dearly that I could load... I do wish that I could load coal ore faster, because I just cannot at the moment. Also, we should absolutely make sure that it's wait to loaded on this end as well. No, turn around. Turn around. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to increase the amount of coal ore that we have by a dramatic amount. 360 tons per workday is a very substantially large number. We need to make sure that we always have a boat waiting. This is going to mean at least one Ljubljana on the route, probably two. Good thing that we're making them, and we're making them fairly regularly at that. But I mean, honestly, this is going to be the setup going forward, I think, for stuff like the coal mine. Why would you use a cableway? Sure, the cableway is perhaps probably more fuel efficient, but if you're rolling in cash, who cares about that? I mean, you know, cableway's got its own drawbacks. It's pretty difficult to place. It's pretty annoying. I mean, this, all you do is slap down one of these passenger heliport things and you're ready to go. Do we even need a heliport? Can we just, like... No. Okay, we're not allowed to offload at the building, which I guess you can do with the bus, which is kind of nice. Can you maybe offload? You can maybe offload at the helipads, to be honest. I mean, that might even be worth experimenting with. But to be brutally honest, I mean, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's a pretty small footprint for the helipad anyway. I think we've got now, what, 7 or 8 helicopters on this route? 7. Yeah, we got 7 helicopters that are on this route. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think that we're going to need any more. I don't think that we're going to need any less. I think that that is a pretty darn perfect amount. We are definitely going to need more Hercules ships, and we have more coming. We have reinforcements en route. As we speak, they are coming. I'm going to just check. Yeah, show me the route for this Ljubljana. So there are 1, 2, 3. Right. This still has bauxite on. This. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to nab a boat that is just filled up with coal. Like this one, or coal ore. And we're going to copy onto this one. And we're going to copy onto that one as well. There we go. Excellent. So that should be only a couple of the Hercules aggregate boats still left on the line, which is, you know, has been dominated by the Ljubljana for a decent period of time now. We're basically just going to wait until... Yeah, we're basically just going to wait until this boat runs out of bauxite. Then I'm going to send it home because it's going to take too long to inspect exactly where it is over the border. And yeah, fine. Go to depot right here. And where's this boat? It's just about reached the border. I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with a couple of Hercules ships still kicking around there. That's just fine. I mean, this is marvelous. This is absolutely marvelous. We're gonna be able to fill this up unbelievably quickly. Yeah, this is perfect. What's the rate? I mean, it's a lot of coal. It's a lot of coal ore. Frankly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we are shipping it unbelievably quickly, and this is all great news. Now, again, making sure that we have a regular supply is going to be a challenge, but it's a challenge that I am relishing for sure. We're gonna need all the help that we can get, but it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it because coal is about to be in very, very short supply. In fact, it might already be in short supply. Okay, we don't have power, we don't have coal, we don't have iron here. So it's kind of not in short supply, I guess, because I haven't dealt with it yet. Should I just build this stuff? I kind of want to see exactly how much of a coal shortage we have. By the way, as ever, thanks for the comments on the last video. There was a comment specifically with regards to optimizing the coal import operation that I have going at the large customs house. I should make clear, I know that I can slightly optimize that process. You know, we can always have 3 trains loading and 1 train waiting. What I mean to say is that I actually think that we are closer. We're closer to hitting that target, I guess, than you might think. I mean, I might scroll over there now just to have a little look. That's not the one. Where is it? This is the one. This is the one here. All right, as if to disprove my point completely. There is not a single train that's filling up at the moment. So yeah, there's definitely some optimizations to be made there. All I mean to say is that I don't think that they're going to be as beneficial as what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now in Kolovskaya and Kolyarsk, I think, is going to make a bigger impact. And it's going to be done at a fraction of the price as well, even though we're going to be spending a gargantuan ton of fuel on the whole operation. But it's going to be fuel that we can hopefully pay for ourselves, I guess, through the use of the wonderful magic of Novoya Krudnov. Yeah, this area's seen better times. For sure. For sure it has. It doesn't particularly matter. Increasing oil and fuel and whatnot, that's all good and well. Let's not worry about that altogether too much at this moment in time. You are heading to Alamon Ship Dock. Great. And the next one will be ready in just a sec. I bet you... Yep, I was way to say, I bet you we're already hitting the storage limit, and indeed we are. That is not a problem, actually. Very, very okay with that. Very, very okay with that. Right. For the last couple of minutes, why don't we see if we can just try and pimp out this steel mill, I guess. We are missing iron. How are we missing iron? Ah, I see. I've missed the tower. Also, there was a great suggestion in the comments about transporting people to the aircraft control tower by helicopter, which I dearly love the idea of doing. I think that's a great idea. And we'll probably end up doing that at some points. Right. So, high voltage power. High voltage power is here, and we should do something about it. We will power our steel mill with high voltage power. To be honest, I kind of feel like even if we're not coming up against the limit of the cables, still probably worth just dragging a completely independent high voltage cable across here. Probably doesn't necessarily need to be the biggest, most expensive cable in the world, but that's okay. This coal power plant can deal with like 16 high voltage inputs. And it would be really nice to have a brand new high voltage power line. It's kind of independent from the others. Also serves, if we get a high voltage switch in here, to do the... There we go. To do the low voltage power as well. we go. Cool. Power transformer. Sure, I'm not going to regret just using a basic power transformer, am I? Not a chance. I've never regretted that in my entire gosh darned life. Okay. I think that's literally all we need. Obviously, current cable excluded. Okay, we're gonna be able to make steel now. That's the crazy thing. We're actually making steel. Okay, and we're making mechanical components too, which is remarkable because we're making them very, very quickly. The next thing is gonna be increasing the number of people that we have working in Stalnoy in order to fully leverage both steel mills at the same time, which is gonna be tough, actually. It's gonna be real tough. Will we even have enough iron refining? Probably. I suspect that we'll still be fine for iron refining, because we can always increase the number of people that can work in the iron mine, or alternatively move it around a little bit, get a second iron mine, something like that. I sincerely think that coal is going to be the problem. I'm doubling down on that. I'm doubling down on coal being the problem. Mechanical components, we've already filled out the storage. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Do we want to move our mechanical components to somewhere more useful via helicopter? Potentially. That might even be just a bridge too far. A helicopter trip too far for old Potato here. The inefficiency of that would make me weep a little bit. But that's fine. Just out of curiosity, how much fuel are we actually importing? I am very curious. Import of resources, Soviet bloc, fuel, 74,000. What was it last month? 95,000? Is that it? We imported basically double in fuel. Double in crops. Double in chemicals. Not double, but, you know, increase in chemicals. Fuel is... it's basically nothing. Huh. That's interesting. The crazy thing to me is that we're importing so much croppage. I mean, we must be making a ton of food. And a ton of alcohol as well. If we're importing this much croppage. Also begs the question. We're importing a lot of food, obviously. We're importing a lot of food. Yeah, very much are. And yet we're also importing a ton of crops in order to make food. Are we exporting a ton of food? I mean, we're exporting a lot. Nah, we're exporting a decent amount. 299 units. How much are we importing? 359. So this is just like money that's going down the drain, right? Like there's a difference here. There's a difference, and we could probably reduce our import of food down to basically nothing if we tried. That might be a good ambition for a future episode, actually, to reduce our food consumption to 0. It's always tough though, because we need to get like little mini depots set up around the map in order to you know, ship food into warehouses. We need to make sure that all of the supermarkets have got access for trucks to arrive. It's not impossible, far from it actually. It's very, very doable. It's just a little tough. It's just a little tough, and it's gonna require some planning. But that's okay. Right, I was waiting to say, has any ship arrived at Kolovskaysky? It looks like indeed they have. Unfortunately, though, we can't really do anything with this coal. We seem to have a pretty tremendous amount of coal at this precise moment in time, which is fairly marvelous, actually, as much as it is sort of frustrating, because we can't test the amount that we're able to refine. I will say, though, it does look like when these coal ore processing places spin up into activity, I mean, it looks pretty darn good. It looks pretty darn good. I am very, very happy with this. Production in this building was stopped momentarily. Only momentarily. Right. Well, I don't know how, but this entire operation, this entire town of Turistovsky looks great now. I don't know what's changed. I don't know what's changed. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We removed the road in the center of town. We can reconnect this up, right? Probably. There we go. Okay, let these people out. Come on, really? You're gonna make me demolish this and this? Sure, whatever. We can do that. Cool. I don't know why that counts as too sharp of a turn, but okay. Fine. Right, so we've basically pedestrianized the center of town. Is that a good thing? I don't know. There's not really much of a population around here, so it probably doesn't matter that much. Probably means that the medical university is a little bit less used, but it does look like the vast majority of traffic is responding positively. Doesn't look like we've got any bus platform issues. Everything looks fine over here. We have a very large number of workers looking to try and get to a place of employment, and frankly, that is too many. That is absolutely too many. We also have a passenger heliport here, which has got plenty of workers, and to be honest, we could look to do something about that. We could use this as another sort of pickup point in order to deliver people elsewhere. Right, tourists? Any tourists? Missing staff, unable to get food? Yeah, this is somewhat of a nightmare here. I think people are just being moved around too much. So people are getting off the station, going into the bus stop, and then being moved too quickly to either end of town, or to either the other end of town or down to here. Maybe it's time that we helicopterify this situation a little bit. Can we add? We actually already do have a helicopter port here. Yeah, you know what? Why not institute just as a test? Just as a test. Here to here. There we go. We'll give that a shot. See if that makes any difference. What I'm currently thinking is if we're moving people between this bus stop and this bus stop, why not do it in the other direction? Might as well give it a chance. See if it works. If it does, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't particularly matter. Sure, we'll auto-import fuel because, of course, we will. Man, that's crazy to me that we're importing more food and crops than everything else. Also, education strength apparently is very good because if we're able to do this, if we're able to increase the educational strength, then we are able to shorten the length of time that people are in university, which I rather like the idea of doing. So cultural enjoyment is now no longer a priority for Central Committee. It is all about the time that people spend in education. That's fine with me. All right, let's see. Will this work? I suspect that it will, but we'll see just to be sure. Also, I love this highway. This highway is great. It might look whack, but I genuinely think that it has made a big difference to traffic. It's just a suspicion, though. Okay, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What the heck? There's two buses that are just not doing anything? Disneyland Office Bus Platform 3. Yeah. Did we pick up all the workers? Yeah, okay, so we picked up all the 42 workers that were in the helicopter. We're going to take them all down here. That's great. And then we spit them out. And they will work wherever they want to work. Across town. Yeah, nice. I mean, it's irritating that it needs to come to this. Do I need to specify that everyone goes to the train station? Yeah, okay. I figured that something like that would kind of happen. Once you start specifying, it's pretty difficult to go back, actually. Right. I don't like this. I really actually do not like this. But it does mean that I've specified enough places for enough people to work. We're actually going to be able to service tourists now for the first time in probably a long time, actually. I think it's going to make a bit of a difference. I hope it's going to make a bit of a difference. The other problem is that we're not getting many workers into this train station here. To be brutally honest, it's a bit of a weird one. We don't have that many workers that don't have a great education. So at the moment, we've just got this route here. So yeah, there are 430 workers waiting at the station, and we're going to load up with 257 of them. Basically, 50% of our workers are highly educated. And we don't take highly educated people to Disneyland Ovsk. And that maybe needs to change. Dare I suggest that maybe needs to change. We might try and change that in order to just increase the number of people that we have working in this town. It seems like a pretty good idea, to be honest. Either way, we may have fixed the problem now. May have fixed the problem. Yeah, we might start to see the level of tourist enjoyment just ticking up over time. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But we'll deal with tourism and much, much more in the next episode, because that is it for now, ladies and gents. What a successful time we've had today in order to make Kolovsky actually work just a little bit better. We had to build a whole brand new town, and by build a brand new town, I mean we had to build like 3 buildings, and that's it. I love helicopters. What can I say? I'm still absolutely in love with helicopters. They are very powerful. They are very, very powerful. And dare I say, they maybe break the game a little bit. But anyway, this is all up for discussion. Come join the Discord if you haven't already. It's a good place to discuss Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff that I play. So yeah, come and join us. Links down in the description. Thank you as ever to the fantastic support over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/potato. Thanks to Banana and Ananas, C-Senpai, and Aurelio from the $325+ tier patrons. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye.